Hey, what's up? Welcome to Accounting is Business with Albert the CPA. We all know that in this digital world, it's extremely hard to figure out what's real, what's fake, who knows what they're talking about, who doesn't, and etc. So in today's video, I want to talk about some of the different types of accounting services, when you may need each, and really arm you with the knowledge to shop around with more of an apples to apples mindset. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, let's dive in. Okay, we normally start with our church announcements here, but I don't think we have that many this time. I'll just mention that my amazing team member, Tiana, has been working on this blog. So maybe by the time you see this, there'll be an accompanying blog with it, and we'll figure out how to link it somewhere in the video, on the bottom of the video, just somewhere. You know, we still figuring all this out. But there will be a blog on this title that may be a little bit more well put than me rambling all over the place. Anyways, let's go forward. The first type of company that I want to talk about are bookkeeping companies. If you watched any of my videos so far, you know how important bookkeeping is. So there are companies out that just offer bookkeeping services. So what these type of companies focus on is the basic recording, the reconciling, the categorizing, the real basic organization of your financial transactions. So you may need this type of company when you're just getting started, you have no idea what your revenues and expenses are, and you're really looking to get organized. If that's you, you may want to reach out to a bookkeeping company. The second type of company that I want to mention, similar to bookkeeping company, they focus on one thing, but it's tax preparation. These companies are going to be who you go to when you really just need to get your taxes done. No need to complicate that. So we're thinking about H&R Block. We're thinking about Jackson Hewitt. These are the companies where if you have a simple W-2 or your P&L is ready to go and you just need somebody to put the data into the software to get your stuff filed, you go to these types of companies. So I guess that answers the next piece in it. But when you need these companies are pretty much then when you have a very basic tax situation, when you have a very when you have a very basic tax situation and you just need someone to complete your taxes for you, you can look for a tax prep firm. The third type of company that I want to dive into is a hybrid of the first two. These are tax prep companies who also offer bookkeeping, and there are a lot of these online. Partially because tax season is, January to April, really February to April, and they need to keep the money coming for the rest of the year. Anyways, these companies going to offer both of what I just said. Is pretty much the concept of we're going to ensure that your taxes are done, and throughout the year, we're going to ensure that your financials are in order so that at the end of the year, we can easily get your taxes done. And this is a good type of company for companies who are just starting out. They're beginning to grow a little bit. They need to be organized. They want to go ahead and have their taxes in order so they don't have to put so much effort into getting ready for tax season. These types of companies are a good fit for those types of companies. Did that make sense? The fourth type of company that I'll talk about are tax strategy, tax resolution, pretty much tax issue solving companies is what I'll call them. These companies specialize specifically on tax matters. So if you have a big tax problem, or you need some high level tax strategy, or you don't want to have a huge tax bill, there are companies out that offer these types of services. So these are the companies where you want to ensure that you're probably working with a CPA or an EA or a big company that has CPAs and EAs on file. This is serious stuff. This isn't one of the things where you want to just kind of price shop or skimp around. You want to go to these companies. Again, I guess the next part is in the original part. You go to these companies when you have a tax issue. So if you got a huge bill and you want to negotiate that with the IRS, you may want to go to a tax resolution company. If your company explodes on you and you're afraid that you may have a huge tax bill on the way, you may want to go to, a tax strategy company. I won't beat a dead horse here, but there are companies that work specifically on managing taxes, high level taxes outside of tax prep. And a lot of these companies also do tax prep. So that is a part of the market there. The fifth type of company, this list is getting long, Lauren. The fifth type of company that I want to mention is my favorite type of company. It's the CFO level companies, the controller level companies. These are pretty much what Right Choice is based upon. Now, we do offer more stuff now, but this is where the real ROI in accounting lies. It's in the strategy, the insights, the high level decision making. It's the what do your numbers mean about your business. These are CFO level tasks, the budgeting, the projections, the really high level accounting stuff that's going to allow your business to grow. If you're interested in making those data driven decisions, or I shouldn't say if you're interested, we're all interested, but if your company has grown to the point where you need to make data driven decisions, you need to understand who it makes sense to hire, if it makes sense to up that marketing budget, what makes sense for your company based on the numbers, you need CFO or maybe controller level services. So again, I guess this is another theme in the video. The answer is right. The second part is right in the first part. But these types of companies are a good fit for companies that are scaling, companies that are like, I guess I'll say 6 figures and up, and they need to really start to be strategic about the types of things that they do. And just a sidebar, because honestly, a lot of small business owners don't realize this, but the skills, the mindset, and the things that get you to 6 figures aren't the same skills and mindsets and things that's going to scale your business and take you up into a multi-million-dollar business. So when you get to that level where you sustaining, you're good, it may be time to bring in that, that high level accounting professional, accounting and finance professional that can really dive into those numbers and help you to strategically move forward. So that gets a little bit of a longer description because this is by far my favorite. It's by far the most, I shouldn't say the most important, bookkeeping is the most important, but it's the most valuable when it comes to ROI and getting your value and paying for itself and that sort of thing. I'm a CFO. And finally, the 6th type of company that I will mention is what Right Choice does. There are companies that allow you to outsource the full function. So you may see full service accounting. We call ours outsourced accounting department. Some companies even call it virtual CFO. And when you check them out, they offer some of the additional stuff. But there are companies who handle all of the things that I've discussed in this video, from bookkeeping to tax prep to tax strategy to tax resolution if you have an issue. They handle all of that in-house with their team. That's what Right Choice does. I would be nice and mention some of our competitors, but nah. So I guess that's it. So when you need that type of company is when, similar to CFO services, when you're scaling, when you want those data-driven decisions, when you want it all in one place, when you don't want to have to talk to different professionals and that sort of thing, there are companies that you can hire, i.e. Right Choice, that will allow you to outsource that full accounting function, and it operates as your full accounting department, so you don't have to worry about that function if they're solid, like Right Choice. It is important to note there are other types of accounting service companies, but most of them will be similar or fit very closely into one of these buckets. So these 6 types of companies should give you a really good idea of how to make apples to apples comparisons. And it's important to keep in mind that a bookkeeping company is not going to be anywhere near an outsourced accounting department company and, service level, price, blah, blah, blah. It's just different things. Those outsourced accounting department is going to have a bookkeeping function. So it's important to understand as you're shopping around, and I know most of us, price pops up in our head. Bookkeeping is going to be a fraction of the cost of an outsourced accounting department. Virtual CFO services are going to be, by all intents and purposes, much more expensive than, bookkeeping, tax prep, those lower level administrative types of services. So that's a really important point to make as we're talking about apples to apples comparison. You have to pay more to get more. I guess we don't really have to talk about that, but it's important to just note since I did say I would make this video. All right, so I guess that frees us up, Lauren. That frees us up to go ahead and get into our Ask Albert the CPA question. How much time? Oh, we're going to end up getting rid of that last segment. I can see it. Anyways, Ask Albert the CPA. Let me look at my notes here. We still didn't get who it was from. Y'all bear with us. But I guess not saying who it's from will open up conversation in the comments or something like that, where people can be like, oh, thank you for answering my question, or tag me next time or something like that. So anyways, our Ask Albert the CPA question for this week is, oh, I like this one. What's something that you believe now that you've been running let me read it right. What's something that you believe now that you've been running a business for a while that you didn't believe back when you were an employee? I won't say mindset, but matter of fact, it is mindset. Something that you learn when you really start growing your business and really get into your business is business truly isn't personal. It can't be. It can't be. And I'll say it this way. When you've done that CEO level mindset where you understand your role as a person who has to make decisions that pushes your company forward above all else, for people who have good hearts and want to help people and blah blah blah, that's one of the hard things to distinguish. I struggle with that a lot. A lot of my entrepreneur friends struggle with that. But when you get there, you'll understand that you can love a person personally. You can hate them professionally while loving them personally. You can fire that person and you can still hope for the best for that person. And that is probably some of the highest level stuff that you wouldn't have been able to convince me of earlier. I would have been saying, no, you can take care of people, you can blah, blah, blah. But no, you have to, as a leader in the company, you have to make tough decisions that allow the company to continue to move forward. So business isn't personal. I've always pushed back on that. Before, I always used to say everything's personal because you affecting people personally. Yes and no, but mostly no. Hope that answered your question. Let me know if you have a follow up. And this video is getting kind of long. Let me check my notes here real quick. Yeah, the little conversation segment slash fun time, it's starting to look like this ain't gonna happen. Lauren, we may want to stop mentioning this in these videos. You think? I guess that's it. So always remember, accounting isn't boring. Accountants may be boring, but accounting is business.